Seems like they're going to be going with the Ashe for Mystic, and we'll have to see if it's going to be the Corki being locked in. Here it is, as Corki be taking to the mid lane for Sia.
It just makes me so happy.
Please, Rusty, tell us about the Corki that Godv debuted in the LPL. Excuse me, Wayless now. I
just still like Corki. They've been consistently buffing him by small amounts, but if you do it every single patch, it amounts to something in the end, right? As wow.
That's an instant lock-in of Yasuo. Coming up for Flandre in the top lane.
Forget Corki, that doesn't even matter anymore. There's a Yasuo. This is the best game of League of Legends ever.
Rusty's a happy man now, Frostgird.
He's got Team WE, he's got Corki in the mid lane, he's got Flandre's Yasuo on top.
I was a Syndra player in competitive. This is the best.
Okay, so the Corki has been played in the LPL again. That wasn't a joke. Wayless did bring it out on LGD, and he actually won with it. As Rusty said, if you continuously buff a champion, he will find his way back in. Same thing really exists, though. He hasn't really changed since the last time we saw him in the mid lane. Again, there were nerfs to his buffs to his ultimate.
So the one big thing that did change is at level 16, it's like what the old AP Cogmore was. You have 1-to-1 scaling now on your R, so you actually smash people once you hit late game.
Let's see if he's going to be able to use that Corki pick in mid lane. Already two very interesting and unorthodox picks coming out from these two teams. Seems like Snake really held on to this Yasuo pick in the top lane. Didn't use it at all against Vici in their last match.
If someone is going to come out with some crazy pocket picks, it would be these two teams against Snake, the creative, the innovative team, and Team WE. They've got quite a few tricks up their sleeve.
Let's see which trick prevails here. Snake about to take on Team WE. They just played 5 gruesome matches against Vici. Picked up the reverse sweep to make it into this part of the regional gauntlet qualifier. And now they're about to head into their first game against Team WE. No easy team to take down. It's going to be a tough match for them.
And one of the good things as well about the Syndra that we have to highlight is that, yes, it's an assassin that can go in the mid lane. It's usually designed to kill the opponent of this, in this case, Corki. But it also has wave clear, because it's a reasonably low cooldown Q that at level 5 you combo with one of your other spells that kills the back wave and you have control. So you can match the Corki. You very rarely get bullied out of this lane. And the Corki was picked into it. It means that he shouldn't die in this lane, but it's more about getting the package and just disappearing.
Interesting picks across Summoner's Rift. Team WE taking on Snake Esports. We're about to head on to Summoner's Rift for game number 1 of this best of 5 series between Team WE and Snake.
If Corki is going to disappear, he's got a lot of different options to work with in pretty much every position. There's hard CC. I'd like to see him get involved with Zero and Mystic on the bottom side. So look for how these level 6 will work out with the top lane teleport.
And step aside Infernal Drake. We've got Cloud Dragon stepping up on Summoner's Rift here today. Breaking the trains once again.
A lot of Team WE fans in the audience.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Of course, game 1 for WE, game 6 for Snake. One team's warmed up and potentially tired. The other one is fresh, ready to go. And they just watched 5 games of their opponent and how they won and how they lost.
You already see Snake trying to wrap around Team WE here. Mystic gets some good damage on towards Jay-Z, but both teams seem like they want to start on the top side of the map, whereas Zero and Mystic just being a nuisance. Jay-Z already using a potion.
Both teams want to start that that Gromp camp. Ward was placed.
They're not backing off though. They're still sticking as close by as possible, looking to try and take down this Gromp. Or at least stop Crystal and Jay-Z from taking it down.
Oh no, instead it looks like what they're going to try to do is get early control of the... Ooh. Hello?
Yeah, scared them away from it. So he was on vision, but was looking to at least get in there and try and steal it with the W from the Ashe.
Already though, complete lane dominance and control from Mystic and Zero. They're really abusing the melee range versus range matchup.
And this is with Jay-Z already using a potion at level 1, so this is a phenomenal advantage for Team WE. As they're just ignoring minions, they don't care.
They did get all 3 of the minions, so Mystic's done his part at the same time as harassing. That's absurd. No one should ever recall at level 1 like that.
You mentioned a lot of Team WE fans in the crowd there. They're definitely happy about this level 1 trade that's gone in their favor.
Team WE just won bottom lane in about 30 seconds. Unless there's some sort of jungle intervention or they get a really poor trade, that's disaster for Snake.
We can check in with the rest of the map now. Up on the top side of the map, Flandre going up against 957. Yasuo up into top lane. This is one of my solo queue nightmares being played in competitive play.
And I guess we have to question if he's going the Frozen Mallet build fish. and really aids towards that nightmare, because a top lane Yasuo, if you don't go with the tanky build or at least health stacking build, you run into a spot of trouble where you just get outscaled in team fights.
And he's picked up Fervor of Battle as his keystone mastery heading into this match against 957.
That is something that needs to be underlined about Snake's composition, is that with a Yasuo top, their only two tank line members are going to be that Gragas as well as the Braum. So a lot of pressure on Jay-Z and SOFM to really perform and facilitate for these 5v5s.
Yeah, it's definitely right. The only reason I bring up the Frozen Mallet build as well is you're not a tank. It's kind of like Echo in that you've got utility behind you not being a tank, but you are one.
Look who's here. SOFM up on the top side of Matt. 957 has to flash. Hops over Flandre. SO just soaks up the turret damage. And Flandre picks up first blood.
I don't know, Rusty. They seem pretty warmed up to me.
Yeah, look, Snake are pretty ready to go. SOFM doesn't help his bottom lane, but decides to go top lane instead. Perhaps that was unpredictable as Condi's now surfaced his head on the other side of the map. This is still a problem for Snake, but there is a strength in that top lane right now.
Crystal can't even walk up and farm us at the moment. He tried just then, took 3/4 of health and damage, and already
There's a dive.
the son of Baron is looking to move down towards the bottom lane.
Anything
no wards.
you can do, I can do better.
No wards have spotted him out.
So you have to first check how many minions are about to crash, and if they are. Their answer is none, because there's only the 3 minions. They're spending more time denying here, WE. This is a risky dive, but the spell shield's down. And Elise does have repel.
He's gone. He flashes over. Gets the cocoon. They delete Crystal and pick up a kill on the bottom lane.
This is going to be a bloodbath, I can already tell.
Yeah. The thing is, and the reason that I am 100% in agreement with you, is that SOFM's decision is to get Flandre ahead. WE's decision is to build on the strength that they have between Mystic and Zero. This is a game on Summoner's Rift that is very topsy-turvy.
We talked about how last match, Snake taking on Vici, was a very top-focused match. This match, however, seems like Snake still throwing into the top lane. Team WE a little bit more well-rounded coming into this one.
And now this is what we need to look at. So if Snake are all in on top side, WE all in on bottom side, who is the true victor in the mid lane? Naturally, you're going to have to give it to Syndra. She's got the kill pressure on Corki, so all eyes about how this Corki and Syndra will change the balance and the course of this game.
Yeah, it depends on what your goals are. So naturally, Shea will go towards the Hex Drinker and then get his package at, I think it's 8 minutes. Be able to leave that middle lane. And if he has an impact somewhere on the map, maybe turns around Flandre trying to snowball or helps that bottom lane diver get first turret blood, then Shea is the winner of it realistically.
So that's with him being a very patient man, looking to still try and find ganks into the top side of the map. Condi now is on the right side of the jungle. That's when has to be a little bit careful. He is level 4 to the level 5 at least, finally hitting level 5.
SOFM's about to accidentally find Condi and vice versa. Or not. He's already in.
It's a 2v2, but
they're both level 5 top
don't know
laners.
it.
Flandre just hit level 6. He might actually go back in for this one. SFM does not connect with the body slam. Slows down Condi. This Elise has no flash. There's the ultimate coming out from Flandre. Knocks up 957, who's about to go mega. But Condi's incredibly low. Flandre gets the first kill. 957 can't stun him up. And SOFM will just chase him out of this lane.
Big plays here from Snake. It was SOFM getting the counter again because these two are now hitting each other.
Tank using the ghost very early, just trying to chase down Seer, move towards the top side of the map. Seer just fights him away using the Gatling gun. That's the bottom lane. Crystal getting locked down by the Karma, getting a lot of damage taken here. As JC was occupied trying to deal with the Ashe, but there goes SOFM looking to try and chase down 957. Flandre even diving deep in between these two turrets.
One nightmare joined by another at the moment. I really do wonder where the breakpoint's going to be. At this stage, Mystic and Zero, once they get level 6 on that Ashe, as essentially lights out in that Snake bottom lane duo. But if the Yasuo comes down with a teleport with SOFM, it's a Gragas Yasuo combo.
And they're not done. They're going to continue to try to dive 957. He doesn't have flash.
There's the ultimate, knocks him into the wall. SOFM goes in, gets the max range body slam, and just allows Flandre to sweep in and pick up the kill.
This is unreal right now. Flandre's Yasuo is 3-0.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're still fighting. This time around, Mystic's being pushed back. There goes Jay-Z jumping on forward, getting Crystal to stand behind Braum, tags the Winter's Bite on towards the Ashe. All Crystal really wants to do here is just farm up and push this wave in. Mystic's not letting that happen. He's going aggressively forward, gets 2 auto attacks off and the volley.
For what it's worth, the 35-minute buff team of WE has met them at 1 minute into this game and said, we will duke it out with you. from the beginning. This is really different.
Big shield being put up by Jay-Z, flashes forward, trying to get concussive blows onto Mystic. One more shot will do it. Can he get it? Gets gone forward, but look at Mystic. Crystal's getting concubined by Zero. One more auto attack should be enough. Mystic takes down Jay-Z, and at the same time, Zero's going to be able to take down Crystal.
Snake thought that they had laid the perfect trap by using their summoner spells together, but unfortunately, the lane was won at level 1 for Team WE, and they continue to put Snake in the ground.
Just chaos, just utter chaos. Bottom lane just got a double kill. Flandre comes back top lane with his item spike and just puts 957 back into the bin.
It's a 40 CS lead for the top lane. Flandre, 3 kills on his Yasuo. Bottom side of the map, it's a 40 CS lead at the moment for Mystic, who has 1 kill for himself, 2 kills going on over towards Zero.
And meanwhile, mid lane golf. Good serve.
So just farm back and forth here. Still a small CS lead growing for Tank, as he's about 10 CS ahead of Seer, who does have the package in the mid lane nice and early, but not using it for any objectives so far.
His only option to use that is he either goes top lane because they know exactly where SOFM is and they can get a 3 versus 1 on Flandre, or he goes bottom and he continues to try to splinter the advantage that Mystic and Zero have created.
Yeah, look, unfortunately for him, the package was wasted. I don't think he actually needed to pick it up, but again, one of the advantages that the package does provide if you don't use it is at least home guards to get to lane quicker, so you can get a quick recall in and be a little bit more efficient with your timing.
It's 957. He's been heavily camped out by SOFM, and Flandre's been reaping all the benefits. Picked up a Zeal already with the Ninja Tabi.
This guy is brutal. SOFM again creeping up into that top side. There is a pink ward finally placed behind 957, so he will be spotted, but he's also pulling tank.
957.
They're just going to brute force the tower.
Just went into Mega, gets hit by the tornado. And there is going to be the Wolf Spirit that spots out SOFM. Tank's going up as well. SOFM finds him, forces the jump. 957 does that flash, flashes away, but an ultimate comes out from Flandre. They're tanking the second tier turret. 957 living with silver health. The barrel comes in, and SOFM picks up the kill.
Doesn't matter how inefficient you are, apparently. Flandre and SOFM are just that far ahead. Tank not even a factor throughout this. Crazy how these decisions are working out because Condi's just left him to the wolves.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, I mean, he's working bottom with Sheer. That's what I'm saying. They're both just playing towards strong points. No one's trying to shore up weaknesses.
If I'm 957, I'm so tilted. I'm dying behind my second outer tower at 10 minutes in the game.
That's a teleport from 957 back up to the top side of the map, trying to hold on to this top turret as long as possible, making sure that Snake don't pick up the first turret gold as well as that first blood they got previously.
Which means it puts a lot of pressure on Team WE to really act and make a play here.
Crystal and JC still just holding on for their dear lives. The poke that's coming out from this bottom lane is just absurd. It's a 40 CS lead still for Mystic.
Talk about this all the time. One of the big advantages to Ashe is that she has great matchups into the other really strong AD carries, Jhin and Sivir, as well as her ability to chip and pick away at you underneath turrets with the power of that volley.
We mentioned Snake. They have some great players in their team. Flandre, a big carry top lane. I have not seen that before.
They don't want it to die.
Yeah, just trying to slow it down.
Jay-Z just trying to keep it away from the turret as long as possible. Puts up the shield, trying to block auto attacks. Even that's not going to be enough. Arrows up for Mystic. He has to be a little bit careful
Mystic
about
should all
this.
in for this, though.
They have to do it because, again, the top lane's about to go down.
There's the arrow. Jay-Z turns around and just gets destroyed as Mystic throws out the arrow, picks up the kill.
What more can you really say? Mystic and Zero at the moment are here to play. They're definitely here to win. And they are giving it everything to Crystal and Jetso right now.
Unfortunately, on the other side, the two champions that can really put a wrench in Ashe and Karma's plans, the Gragas and the Yasuo, a ton of backline dive, a ton of assassination potential, and a ton of ways to make Mystic's life hell.
And TW will pick up the Cloud Dragon on top of the turret they picked up in the bottom lane. Top side of the map, Flandre was able to take down that top lane outer turret. 957 left to defend underneath his top lane inner turret. Like we were talking about earlier, Flandre, he is one of those superstar carries for Snake as they start up on their Rift Herald.
I think it's the first Rift Herald that we have seen today and yesterday included, but the reason they can do this is because they just want a split push. Flandre needs to get further ahead.
Oh, he got the ultimate off there. 957 lockdown, almost going mega. He's trying to hop away and get the extra help, but he doesn't get it. Flandre gets that first kill. Now Seer forced to flash away. The knockup comes in. SOFM and Flandre flash from the wall. Even Jay-Z's joined this fight as he leaves, comes down on the rappel, picks up up one kill, looking for SOFM, who's being chased down by Zero. Jets the body slam over the wall, throws out the cast backwards. As now Tank's here, throws down the ultimate, has to get exhausted by Zero.
Late to the party, however. Again, a bit overzealous from SOFM and Flandre. They do manage to take the buff as well as just trade one kill, but...
Yeah, finally Condi and SOFM meet somewhere. Unfortunately, Mystic is the big member of the team. He is dealing with Crystal quite well, but it means it's just a 1v1 down there, and the spillover of Flandre killed Xie.
Crystal still trying to farm whatever he can. That CS lead has increased to 50. So you take a look at that fight again. 957 knocked up by Flandre to start things off.
Yeah, and it's only the little details you can critique, honestly, as a Yasuo player, but it's not great.
Very tip of that. I can't even believe he got the ultimate off, hitting with the tip of that tornado. Big issue is the fact that Tank is still making his way over here. He's just about to come onto your screen. So just a little bit late to the party. If that Syndra had been there, 100% Snake almost win the game there.
Oh no, it was the cake that got him. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
SOFM knocking him up with the ultimate scene. So now there's 3 members of Team W on the top side of the map. Look at the heat map for SOFM. He doesn't play on his side of jungle. The top side of Summoner's Rift is where he's at.
Blue buff
top laner
to
now.
top lane. Speaking of,
as SOFM moves straight back towards the top side of the map, helping Flandre as well as JZ defend this turret. Mystic's up here now. That gives some breathing room for Crystal, who is farming on the bottom side of the map, looking to get some damage onto the bottom lane outer turret. At least getting a little bit caught out here. Tank trying to throw the ultimate down, get some good damage onto Condi, but doesn't kill him.
yeah, just kind of wants to poke him out, I suppose. Tank's job isn't really to assassinate anybody at the moment.
Crystal's going to get this.
Eventually.
947 does have teleport available, but it seems like Crystal should be able to take down this turret. 3-man unit of Snake still defending this top lane outer turret quite well.
And we don't often get to talk about this, but the beauty of Braum and Yasuo using the 2 walls to deny a lot of siege potential.
As Team WE look for a dive on the top side of the map, SOFM uses his ultimate to get away. Arrow hits JZ, even pops the ultimate as well just to slow down the rest of Team WE. And they're still trying to defend this. Syndra rotating towards the top side of the map now.
Yeah, they actually pushed the Yasuo away though, so no more wind wall to stop them from hitting it until now. But it's not actually close enough past the turret. So WE do eventually trade.
And a Snake chasing them down. It seems like SOFM's not looking to trying to look to stop them from going back to base. Teleport coming out from Gnar into the bottom lane to stop Crystal from pushing any further forward.
It's more important that he's just getting that wave and it's not just denied into the tower. Gnar is still so far behind. 0-4-1, but 82 to 140 CS.
60 CS advantage at the moment for Flandre. Bottom side of the map, that CS lead is shrinking. And as Mystic, although still ahead, 34 CS ahead now of Mystic. Of Crystal, sorry.
Don't want to tilt you, either Fish or anyone that plays solo queue in League of Legends, but it is the Frozen Mallet Yasuo build.
Oh no.
He is now basically a tank that doesn't have tank items, because he has damage reduction from the Phantom Dancer and the health gain from the Frozen Mallet, and his shield that is always available because he jumps everywhere.
It's going to be nigh impossible to run away from this Yasuo as well, even if you are at Gnar.
And he's the true weapon right now for Snake. They've put all their eggs in the Flandre basket. He's pretty massive. It looks like he's going to go ahead and follow the lane assignment and try to continue to bully 957.
Seems
now,
like
typically in this situation, Team WE will try to bounce their waves or freeze their waves as well as possible, or just delay and elongate, stall this game out.
seems like Flandre not very happy that his Gnar got taken away by 957. 4-1-2 on this Yasuo. Going to be able to complete that Frozen Mallet shortly. This tank is still farming up in this mid lane. Those are 2 people that we haven't seen too much from so far. Tank and Seer. Just been farming the mid lane. Seer's died and got an assist here. Tank's done absolutely nothing so far besides rotate around and just be a presence.
Slight level advantage though for Tank being level 11. We already mentioned this, but Corki is very level reliant. I already compared him to AP Cogmore, and for good reason.
So right now we have a scenario where the dragon is spawning in 1 minute. Mystic's just created a push on the top side of the map. He's now resetting his position. It might indicate that Team WE are possibly looking to make a pick or even contest for this dragon.
This bottom side of the map, Crystal and JZ still pushing out against 957. That dragon's coming up in 30 seconds, so we'll have to see if Team W do get in position for that. Snake moving straight back towards the river. Trying to get as much vision down as possible. First dragon was a Cloud Dragon that was taken quite easily by Team W after the advantage they had from the bottom lane. You can see Mystic using that advantage, being able to pick up a Hurricane for himself and the components of the Infinity Edge.
He's got a really good pushing build right now. Again, the one that Stixie popularized at MSI. Not the greatest 5v5 build because he's missing a couple of his core items.
Whereas Crystal gone straight for the Essence Reaver on Sivir, looking to provide as much utility to his team as possible with the extra cooldown reduction he'll get from the item.
Sivir's always had a mid-game power trough, but she gets to compensate that by the fact that she's going to augment her surrounding team with that movement speed.
Yeah, also means in siege scenarios where they're getting poked out, you'll have the infinite mana from having the return on every single crit, so it's not always just about the cooldown reduction.
Big spike coming out for Sia as well. He's gone back to base. He has that Hex Trigger, now the Trinity Force. He also just picked up the package right on time for the Infernal Dragon to spawn.
I think Snake's plan should be to revolve around the Infernal Drake / middle or bottom lane where they can just keep WE busy. And once they have information and knowledge on where WE are, just kill top lane.
Something that's also very interesting is that if this does come to a 4v4, all of Snake's advantage is actually in the top side of the map. Now, he does have teleport, he can join this, but Snake aren't actually stronger in a 5v5 unless Flandre is there. So if 957 can trade his position on the map for holding Yasuo on a lane, that's advantageous to WE.
Well, Team WE is threatening to start up the Infernal Dragon, taking a little bit of damage from it. And Snake just walked into the river and they decided they're not going to do it anymore. And Snake moved towards trying to take down the middle lane outer turret. This is gone.
Yeah. They're not quite though.
As the arrow comes out, SFM will tank that one up. The Cocoon will miss. Good poke damage coming out from the Corki to start things off. And on the hunt being popped by Crystal as well.
He's a man that is scared. I think it's safe to say that he's had the sense beaten into him by WE's bottom lane.
Well, they do have Flandre joining them now. Does have the Phantom Dancer available with the Frozen Mallet. And still waiting to see which team pulls the trigger first. That Infernal Dragon's been sitting there for some time now. 957 getting hit by the tornado thrown out by Flandre.
Oh no.
Yeah, so FM waiting the wings. Hasn't been spotted out yet.
It's a Gragas Yasuo combo. Remember, if the explosive cast connects, then Yasuo can follow it up. However, I don't know if it's in the best interest of Snake to engage with Yasuo. He should actually be the follow-up engage.
Well, that's 957 now using his Mega Gnar. That's going to be down for some time. Snake to have the opportunity to try and take advantage of that as they continue to push out the mid lane. 957 starts to move towards the top side of the map. Flandre split pushing on the bottom side of Summoner's Rift.
He needs to quickly find some creep so he can start stacking up that transformation again. With that cooldown down, it does mean that Snake have the all go and all clear to start this Infernal.
Yeah, already got it down to half health. Team WE not in position to try and go for a smite battle here. SFM picks it up. Sia can get locked down and stunned as the shield comes out from Karma to make sure that Team W can run back to safety. Snake now moving towards the mid lane, looking to try and stop them from pushing towards that mid lane turret.
Yeah, still looking for it though, Snake. The best friends club of Flandre and SOFM are holding hands so that the engage will always be followed up upon. And Snake are able to push them back, so naturally WE trying to get what they can from a situation where they won't benefit. This time around, Snake stop it.
Crystal's going to be able to pick up his red buff as well. Still sitting on that Essence Reaver, trying to find whatever farm he can. 40 CS behind Mystic after pretty much winning lane at level 1. Making sure that this Sivir and Braum would be set incredibly far behind, but it's been a stark contrast because top side of the map, Flandre is 4-1 and 2, has 2 items, a full item ahead of 957.
I mean, Crystal's doing a much better job shoring up that discrepancy in CS between him and Mystic, whereas on the other side, 957 really hasn't gotten any closer to trying to catch up to Flandre.
Yeah, the problem with that, and it's probably going to be exacerbated even further as the game progresses, is actually giving farm to 957 when you've got a Corki and an Ashe that are basically demanding it at every single avenue is going to be tough to do, whereas Snake just put Crystal bottom and he got a turret by himself, so he spent a lot of time just farming, getting experience and trying his best to catch up.
He's doing a much better job allocating the resources on the correct members. Something that can be said is 957 Gnar doesn't necessarily need those big key items to still be effective as long as he can hit that Mega Gnar and find that massive ultimate, whereas Yasuo definitely needs to be ahead of the clock so he still has kill pressure on all of the available targets.
As we take stock of what the laning phase has given these two teams, Snake have that single Infernal Dragon, are about 1,000 gold up ahead of Team WE, 2 turrets to 2. Whereas Team WE 5 kills to 6 in a moment. They're going to try to initiate onto SOFM. He's getting bursted down. Sia picks up that kill.
And that's the cask still up and available. Massive cooldown down for Snake to not having that 5v5.
Crystal even tried to heal him up, and instead the heal went on towards Jay-Z instead, not able to keep the Gragas alive.
Yeah, even the flash is there for SOFM. So the chain CC firstly out of the Ash Arrow, followed by the Cocoon, allows a lot of time for Mystic and Xie to do all of their damage. And that is a lot of damage that they have with the big item spikes they've got.
Mystic just turned to 957 and was like, it's okay, hop on.
Mystic goes back to bay, picks up the Infinity Edge for himself, and
Get
is
in
now
my quiver.
pushing on the top side of the map. And Sia going aggressive here on over towards Tank, who misses both of his abilities. They're still going toe-to-toe. Exhaust used as the ultimate comes down, but Crystal's down here, and Tank picks up the kill with the help of the 80 carry.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for everything, Fish, and that was neither the time nor place to be aggressive.
As now, Snake trying to use that to push down the middle lane outer turret. They get that. The turret is now 3-2 in favor of Snake.
Whoops.
Looking strong in this game.
That's a big whoopsies.
Big whoopsies.
Really unfortunate. I mean, he had the right idea. He could win those 1v1s. It was timed well to
Especially
win.
with that exhaust.
Yeah, it was timed well to win the 1v1. But it was timed poorly because he didn't know where certain people were, including Crystal, who was there to kill him.
And that's allowed Tank to go back to base and pick up another item for himself, sitting on the Morale Nomicon as well as the Abyssal Scepter. Gragas has gone and picked up the Runic Echoes, now looking for a spirit position, trying to mitigate the magic damage dealt by Condi as well as Sia. Top side of the map, Flandre has picked up a BF sword for himself, so looking for a big damage item to go with the Phantom Dancers as well as the Frozen Mallet.
Just look at how far ahead of Gnar he is. That's a full item and a half.
It's 2 levels up ahead of 957 as well. Flandre is a beast.
And that's going to be an Infinity Edge as well. You give him 100% crit. There's no stopping the Flandre.
Oh, if he gets on top of Mystic or Sia, that could definitely be lights out.
Well, they're definitely going to try. Condi and 957 are creeping up behind him, so let's see if he can take the 2v1.
So let's see what Flandre can do. He now spots them out, has the Tornado available, throws out the Hurricane, gets on top of 957, still trying to use that wall to get it behind him, but Flandre gets caught out and Condi picks up that kill.
It does mean that Snake have a better position in the mid lane, but good job from Mystic. Throws out the vision, gets the information, and makes sure that everyone's safe. There's no return or counterplay for Snake available.
Yeah, really well executed on by WE. Of course, having the package means that it was blatantly obvious, but a Yasuo player is always a Yasuo player. There's not much more you can add to that. He overextends and he dies trying to 1v9.
And this is the difference between Snake and WE. They have a lot of... Oh, hold on.
They're trying to fight here as SOFM getting locked down, forced to body slam away. Mystic taking a few turret shots for that.
He won the trade.
You have some superstar players on the side of Snake, like Flandre, like SOFM, but they don't always work together as a team, whereas Team WE able to shore up their weaknesses by moving around together and working as a unit.
And the gold is now dead even between Team WE and Snake. 3 turrets to 3, 7 kills to 7, and a single dragon each with big CS discrepancies on the top side of the map as well as the bottom side of the map for Snake and Team WE. You can see Mystic take down his red buff. Condi picks up the Gromp and heads back to base, going for even more damage items.
Yeah, so the thing we have to look at is not only how far ahead Flandre is, he's actually at an item disadvantage, essentially, not to 957, but until the Infinity Edge is complete, he'll most likely continue split pushing, because that's the biggest spike Yasuo can possibly get. However, on the opposite side, just having a Zeal for Mystic is actually still a big spike. The crit increases, the move speed's there. We just saw him walk under a turret and outtrade Crystal with the turret hitting him. That's how large he is compared to the waiting Infinity Edge for the Sivir also.
There's no armor coming out from the side of Snake so far. SOFM has magic resistance, and the top lane Flandre going for some damage items and health items to kick things off. So that double seal item coming out from Ash gonna hurt a lot. But Snake, they look to try and start up this Cloud Dragon.
Arrow is up. 957 does have TP, but they're too little too late. It will trade over. We'll see if they take the fight.
It's going to fall. Mystic tries to poke at 957.
Yeah, unfortunately 957 wasn't nearby. He did have teleport, but would like to have the Mega Gnar stacked.
They're still sweeping up wards in the river and trying to get back towards the mid lane out of turret. Good chip damage on towards Zero. Flandre even joining the rest of the team. The rest of Team WE now collapsing. Condi taking a bit of damage. The arrow comes out, lands on SOFM. As Tank gets exhausted, Sia gets knocked up, has to flash over the wall. A lot of Dark Spheres available. The ultimate only knocking Team WE members away and not towards the team.
Bit of a mistake, honestly. If Flandre wanted to fight, if Snake wanted to fight, you can stop them from getting knocked away by using the Yasuo ultimate, but instead, SOFM wastes his flash and his keg and actually just knocks them to safety. Unfortunate for Snake, given how that fight started, which was quite simply an overextension from CA after an arrow connected.
The only breather here is the fact that they're unable to translate that into that mid tower, so a bit of room for Snake as everyone just kind of resets the map, goes back to farming. 957 still trying to claw his way back from the CS discrepancy. A little bit closer, he's knocked off about 20.
28 minutes into the game. The next dragon is really going to be where Team WE starts to shine as we approach 35 minutes into this match. Still dead even between Snake and Team WE.
What are you doing over there, Grom?
And Snake definitely looking a lot better in this first match against Team WE than they get against Vici in their first match.
They have big item spikes now, so both Infinity Edges are completed. And whilst that fight didn't actually commence for Snake, I think it was an okay decision given what they've now got in their inventory. They should be able to look for 4v4s or 5v5s on the side of Snake, but WE will match them.
Crystal has his Infinity Edge complete. Looking for another Nielsen large rod item from Tank. Double Zeal items coming out from Mystic. Top lane 957 just trying to get as tanky as possible. Has the Banshee's Veil. Looking for a Chain Vest item next. We'll just see most of the members on the map just grouping around the mid lane. Neither team opting to send someone to split push at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting because Flandre has most of the resources. They don't really want him to split.
They get a stun. Zero gets knocked off. Flandre gets the ultimate down, but Zero flashes away. It's suddenly looking to start a fight up. The Karma still left alive. And this time around, Flandre doesn't let the Karma get knocked back into the team.
A lot of key ultimates now used, however, as Team WE looking for a possible counter-engage.
Tank got Cocoon, he's getting taken down very low, still kiting away, but Sia picks up the first kill. Zero still alive somehow, as Flandre is going to get taken down. Crystal has to flash away, but Mystic follows through and gets a kill for Team WE.
And this is what has made Team WE so famous in the LPL this split. Their 5v5, their target selection, and their ability to counter-react is gorgeous to watch.
SOFM was able to do it in one game against Vici earlier, which was to steal a Baron away. Almost pulled it back for his team. Let's see if he can do it again here. He's trying to go over the wall. Let's see what he does. So fast, 957 going over to try and stop him, and that stops SOFM to try and take this Baron down. Gets picked up by Condi, and Team WE now firmly in the lead.
957 may have been put down by SOFM and Flandre earlier on, but his team dug him out of the hole. He's now just as effective, zoning off SOFM, helping them secure the Baron, and Team WE in full control of this game.
The amount of damage that comes out of the Ashe during these fights is huge, but it all kicks off because Condi catches Tank. Protobell still does damage even when you get knocked up, and Flandre's target selection was Zero. They just have this obsession with killing the Karma. Meanwhile, Mystic is absolutely destroying them.
And a pick gone south for Snake puts them 4,000 gold behind Team WE, and now it's a Baron as well being picked up by Team WE. You can see the gold graph is just spiking slightly in Snake's favor the entire time, and now just swung completely in Team WE's control.
I mean, it may not be 30 minutes, but it's definitely... excuse me, it may not be 35, but it's definitely the 35-minute mark for Ashe because she is so far ahead of the clock. 3, 0, and 5 has the core items, and that's typically the go button for Team WE. They may not have Wei Xiao, but Mystic certainly is filling that role.
You can see 957 just going full utility now, has the Frozen Mallet, got a Guardian Angel as well, so if he dies, he comes back alive. Just being as beefy as the front line as possible, keeping Snake as occupied as they can. He's relegated to split push duty on the bottom side of Summoner's Rift, does have his teleport available if his team needs him.
Yeah, window of opportunity, however, for Snake if 957 is split pushing and Flandre can meet him. All comes down to having that initial vision first, though, to secure the 1v1. The big deal is actually Xie level 16 with a package. He can assassinate anybody.
Dragon's coming back up in a minute 10 as well.
And it is a Gunblade build.
It'll be the last Dragon of the game.
How happy are you, Rusty?
It's the best build at the moment. I actually think Corki mid is busted because you can go Hextech Gunblade. And 15% of the damage that you deal is restored as health, and you deal mixed damage, and it's crazy. There's rockets everywhere.
He picked up a Trinity Force first and decided to complete his Maul Mortius. Has the exhaust as well to deal with tank if he gets in range of his ultimate. That's not fun.
Which means that there's a lot of pressure for Snake right now, that if they want to try to hold this tower, that they need to be proactive, look for the perfect engagement. Because if they just sit underneath these structures and let Karma, Ashe, and Corki chip away at them, they're passively losing.
Whereas Flandre's gone and picked up a QSS for himself. So not increasing his damage or his survivability, except for a little bit of magic resistance and the ability to take away one of the crowd controls from Team WE.
Gnar is primed, prepped, and ready, so watch the arrow.
Let's see if they go in for this one. They're sieging up the turret. Turret down to half health. 957 standing on top of a ward, so Snake knows this and they give up the top lane in the turret.
Yeah, just too much of a threat, honestly, from WE in the flank from 957, so the due respect is definitely paid. Snake can bleed these structures. They're only going to be the inners. But meeting WE at late game is a dangerous thing to do.
It's 33 minutes into the game. Ocean Dragons back up. Team WE probably going to make their way down towards that side of Summoner's Rift. Look to take it down and proc the Elder Dragon to spawn in the next 6 minutes. As Condi starts that one up.
Take the free objectives when available. Snake won't contest this one, so again, we're back to just consolidating resources and farm. Sivir is quite close to her big 3-item breakpoint, so that should be the next power spike for Snake. Feel comfortable pulling the trigger.
And this is the first game for Snake against Team WE, but they've already been in this position before today and won from it. It was the 4th match against Vici, 5,000 gold down. About this time in the match was where they're able to pull it back and come back into the game. Crystal using the spell shield nicely to avoid the Ashe arrow.
I was able to walk away. I'm not even sure the arrow was going to connect, but apparently it didn't. He's still spell shielded, so
maybe the spell shield just made him slightly wider.
Yeah, so be it anyway. One of the strengths of Sivir when you hit mid to late game is that they can't engage on you. Especially when a Mikhail's Crucible is usually built by the support. It is a Braum, so it's unlikely. They can get everybody out of it.
On the flip side though, Zero has his own Mikhail's Crucible, so he's going to be able to keep Mystic alive, who's picked up a more of Malmortius as well.
One thing we didn't actually touch too heavily on is the lack of cleanse from Syndra. Like, yes, it's a ghost again. I understand that I've been saying this for quite a while, but he's against an Elise, and that's one of the few junglers where you do usually run cleanse just to get out of the ganks, even if the mid laner doesn't have it. Not only that, there's an Ashe. So the second level 6 is hit, they will throw arrows at you, and at this stage in the game, he doesn't have a QSS. He's the one that can die.
I think the priority is, at least early, is that you have the ghosts. You're able to follow the Corki, who's going to try to make cross-map plays with his package, and likewise, there's not going to be a ton of kill pressure early between an Elise Corki, like 2v2 jungle mid combo. So I can kind of rationalize it, but I agree with you. I would have liked to see the cleanse, and it can be very punishing now that we're past this 35-minute mark.
So far, at least, though, I'd say he's been playing PvE for the most of this match. 300 CS, 1 at 1, 35 minutes. He's been involved in 2 kills. With 17 on the map.
1 kill, 1 death.
Let's not split hairs now.
Whereas the rest of Snake just looking to farm up. The Baron buff is now down on the side of Team WE. They can't push as powerfully as they did before.
Now the baiting game, so a minute 30 till Baron. The only person that'll walk near the river area is someone trying to place vision. So they may find SOFM, they may find JZ on that Braum. But patient play here from WE. They just want the big objectives.
And Baron is going to be coming back up shortly. Team WE, like you said earlier, already had good vision control around the mid lane as well as the river towards Baron's side, looking to further increase that control they have. Taking out every single ward that's been placed down by SOFM as well as JZ, and making sure they maintain that control.
Yeah, just systematically destroying all of the vision. There are 3 blue trinkets on the side of Snake when that Baron does spawn in 1 minute, but all eyes on Mystic. Certainly showed up in the lane phase, now coming into mid to late game. The error is going to count for even more.
It's Flandre, 130 CS. Not 136, I'd rate that as a 0. My bad, 60 CS up ahead of 957. As he's gone back to base, picked up his Mercurial Scimitar.
The real saving grace for Snake is that WE are playing this super slow as well. They do have to respect the late game team fighting capabilities of the Snake roster, but they've also just given them enough time to scale up, get farm, get items, and be as prepared as they possibly can be for the late game fight.
Well, Sivir does have 300 CS now, so 3 big items completed on Crystal. Waiting for a couple more before the 6 items Sivir. Win condition comes online for Snake. And Baron is going to respawn. We trust that Team W is still looking to maintain vision control over the area and make sure they can continue to threaten the objective.
It's
so
really
Corky also picked up the package.
Man after my own heart as well, Haunting guys.
It's really important that Mystic was careful with his back there to make sure he was in fog of war, because he's the primary threat still for this team. Making sure that Snake couldn't have the opportunity to walk into the Baron River and start placing down their own vision. They were actually too scared to move forward, so we're still at a very tricky situation. We're all Snake. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're all Snake have is that one ward in the back of the pit, which CA tried to click.
CA was angry.
The ward wins this round. Round 2.
Flandre,
It's still there.
Flandre is still split pushing on the bottom side of the map though. As the rest of Snake being very cautious against Team WE. They know exactly what Team W want to do, so they're playing around that for now. As this time around they started it up, they sweep out the wards too.
They do it pretty quickly. I don't know if that Snake can get here in time, to be honest with you.
Now finally teleporting in as the arrow does come out, lands on the SOS fan. Mystic gonna get stunned up by Tang. Lots of damage coming out from the Baron onto Team WE, but they do force the teleport out of Yasuo. Bottom lane still pushing in Snake's favor during this time.
And I say rinse and repeat, although they need to catch Snake here because they have the inside track towards mid.
Let's see what they can do. SMM is looking to see if he can catch out 957, who is turning many. It's Conley looking for a flank around the back. Jay-Z jumping forward, putting up the shield. They do have the wrap around. Jay-Z getting locked up by the cocoon, forced to flash away. SOFM cut off from the rest of the team. Body slams over towards the Raptor camp to get back together with the rest of Snake.
Yeah, so a battle of trades where WE go for the Baron, lose the trade. Snake say go mid. Unfortunately for Snake, they can't get the turret, and then they're pushed and relegated towards the bottom side of the map, which means WE rinse and repeat the Baron bait. We're actually going in circles.
I know, round and round we go. There's the pick.
They've caught SOFM, doesn't take any damage for a wind wall, blocks up most of it. It's 957 moves towards the front of this fight. SOFM and Flandre on the left-hand side of the pit, trying to run away. The rest of Snake taking damage, have to back off. And again, rinse and repeat for Team WE. They move straight back towards the Baron.
Yeah, I guess the big win here is that WE are running a poke composition when it comes to these late game fights. And 957!
Oh, that's a big Gnar into the wall coming out from 957 from the fog of war. That starts the fight coming out for Team WE. The rest of Snake are running for the hills. Tank and SOFM have been taken down. The arrow lands square onto Crystal. Flandre's the next target. Gets locked down by Zero. Conley doesn't even get taken down as he takes the repel out of there. And Team WE get 4 kills off of a fantastic Gnar ultimate.
And immediately Gnar is teleporting to the top lane and trying to set up this wave. They're not just going to take the fight, they're going to take the inhib as well as the Baron. This is a huge swing for Team WE off of the back of a guy who started this game 0-4.
This may actually even be the game. There's 20 odd seconds on the next upcoming member, and the size of this minion wave should be a substantial amount. They've got 280 carries. They're going for it.
And the only person left to defend these turrets is Jay-Z. Can't quite do it. Team WE off in the back of a big team fight from 957. Pick up the game 1 victory over Snake.